What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Christian here again with another video, and I have another guide for you. This time we have a transformation guide, okay? Because I've seen a lot of players, even top players, not use the transformations on their characters to put pressure on the opponents. And as we know, we have here Vegito already transformed. And the good thing about Vegito is that he has this right here, okay? He has full power charge, and as you see, I get to refill my ki for 2 skill points, and that is a very versatile move, probably one of the top stock moves in the game, probably top 3. Only a certain amount of characters that have that ability, but there's a lot of characters that can refill their ki in a similar way, such as this character right here, my main Bootanks, okay? Now Bootanks is the character I got my Z rank with twice, okay? And you're probably confused, like, why Bootanks? Well, like I said, he has the ability to transform for 1 skill point, as you see, which is a very minimal cost to refill your ki back to max, which allows me to just, you know, start the match and be very aggressive, spend my ki basically. And whenever I get low and I'm at a disadvantage, I get to do this right here. And it's basically a 1 skill point full power charge, which is very powerful. Transformations, unlike full power charge, do change your moveset and do change your stock moves. So there is quite a little bit of a skill gap associated with it if you want to use it properly, okay? So I'm gonna make this guide so that you too can use transformations to your advantage and use more characters in a viable way, okay? So let's start with the obvious first utility that you could get out of transformations, and it's the one that everybody knows because this was a popular cheese tactic when the game first came out. You could obviously punish whiffs with supers. Just transform to Broly here, and instantly you could just throw out a super, right? Now this was very popular when the first game came out, considered a cheese tactic, but this is not the only way to use this frame 1 super ability with transformation, right? For example, you could use it in your combos. Let's say, for example, you're fighting, right? You get off a stun, you get behind your opponent, and you do this. You could transform while you lift strike, and right now the opponent's in the air and far enough for me to use a super, and because this cutscene is pretty long, it'll ice him out. So right now the opponent kind of doesn't know where he's on screen. It's more likely to hit the super here and confirm it, right?
This is a little extra. I'll take you down in 1 shot. Where are you going?
This kind of allows you to end matches because a lot of times people will have enough skill points for like an explosive wave, for example, but this will allow you to kind of do burst damage and prevent the explosive wave. You know, Frieza, for example, has a setup here. Frieza also has a transformation that costs 1 skill point, so he could get his ki back for 1 skill point, similar to Bootanks, making that transformation very good. And look what you could do with it. Let's say you're fighting here. You get off a chase, right? You can transform here while you're chasing. Into a frame 1 brush move, unblockable. Cannot block that, guys. You can attempt to vanish it, but like I mentioned, he's flying through the air, and that cutscene is kind of long, making it kind of hard to time, okay? So these characters could get off a lot of damage, a lot of burst damage, and because Frieza has 6 skill points, he has enough to go sparking right after as well, making transformations very offensively strong and underutilized in my opinion. Another example is that with certain characters that have certain properties for supers, you can link 2 supers together. Check this out. With Super Frieza, let's say you're fighting, you're pretty high up in the air, and you confirm a death beam while they're in the hard knockdown state. You go ahead and attempt another super right after, and if they don't tech the fall, it links together for almost 20k damage. That's the damage of an ultimate there, guys. Now this is very situational because if the opponent is skilled, they can vanish that death beam. So you basically have to confirm the death beam first. But there are ways to make it more likely to hit. This Ki Blast makes it hit a little more likely. They're still in hard knockdown state.
Don't you dare go easy on me.
Now that is situational, guys, but it is possible and it does a lot of damage. So second and a little more useful and less situational is sparking setups. Okay, I briefly mentioned this in a video, probably my Don Julio reaction video, that if I were going to play ranked, I'll be fishing for sparking after transformations, and this is what I mean right here. Okay, let's say we're fighting in the air. And I get this right here, I can transform. Get behind. That allows me to go sparking right there. See? So see, right now I have no key. Usually we're gonna be fighting with 2 key bars or under, right? Our knockdown. Transformation. Into sparking, right? Just like you would with a full power charge.
Behold my newfound evolution. I'll reduce you to nothing but There is nothing left for you except death. I'll send you straight to hell.
Another thing that you could do is that you could hide your hard knockdown attempts by transforming because of the cutscene. A lot of the times, you know, it will ice the other player. So for example, let's say I get a sweep here. The opponent is now kind of iced. And you go to another sweep into hard knockdown. See? It's another way to set it up. You can also hard knockdown with rolling hammer by using the change in moveset to throw them off. Transform. Gold Frieza has it on the 3rd hit. Hard knockdown. See? So it throws off timings, uses the cutscene to kind of reset the opponent into not thinking about super countering or vanishing. It's useful to play mind games as well, unlike full power charge. It's slightly different, a little more, you know, skill gap associated with it because you need to learn 2 characters to make it work, but it's one of my favorite things in the game, and that is why this character right here is my favorite character. Alright, so third we got linking stock moves. So as you know, when you transform and you become a different character, you are going to be changing your stock moves, right? So this character right here is more of a mid-range zoning defensive character. That's why he has explosive wave and regen, right? So he's going to be playing a little bit more defensively, but I could switch my playstyle right in the middle of the match and go on the offensive by just transforming. I'm going to show you how that works, okay? So let's say I'm fighting right here. I get off a gut punch. Now I could pop an after image, get behind. Now if he even super counters me, my after image will prompt, so it allows me to go on the offense here, put a lot of pressure on my opponent. He basically needs to super counter me twice to get out of my combo, which allows me to do insane damage, sometimes up to 2 bars of damage just by transforming behind the opponent. Okay. Now, other characters can do similar stuff, but it's a little bit more situational because their transformations cost us slightly more. So for example, you know, Cell here, he has a solar flare. I get a solar flare. Yeah, the opponent's gonna run away, scramble. I can transform here, get my key all the way up.
Check out my perfect form. It's perfect. Oh,
Go sparking, right? Now that costs 5 skill points to achieve, but it is possible, guys. So it puts a lot of pressure on the opponent. It can make a really nice comeback for you. Another thing is that Cell can also achieve the same thing that Bootanks can because his transformation has after image. So he could go from a more bulky, defensive, kind of punishing character into a faster, agile, offensive character. I get the stun, get right behind, right? Transform, get my key all the way up.
check out my perfect form. It's perfect.
Pop an after image. Now I'm right behind doing my normal combos with the after image. And by doing that, basically the opponent is forced to super counter me twice to get out of this combo. So I could just reset him, you know, twice or 3 times, and I can make 2 bars of damage at least or more every time I do that in a match. So now characters like Android 13 are extremely oppressive with their transformations because Android is always refilling key, and basically you can refill it to max at any point in the match. Basically just means you get to be on the offense at all times with this character. There's no way that you can run out of key because you can spend it willy-nilly, right? So I just spent all my key on the super, and I could just come right back and refill it back to max, which makes Android 13 one of the best 5 DP characters in the game, right? Also, as an Android, it's very tough to get into sparking, but when you're Android 13, essentially that weakness is gone because you get to spark basically right after transformation, making him one of the best characters in the game, and he has a barrier as well. So if you didn't know that, Android 13 is probably one of the best characters, and spending 2 skill points to get your health into the blue, basically he has 4.5 bars of health, which is insane as well, and 6 skill points at max just makes this character one of the best characters in the game.
You're good. I'll show you out. Time to end this.
A lot of people don't use them probably because they are singles players. Okay, singles players, you know, they have their characters that they play and they just stick with them. A lot of times they'll just pick one character and not even transform, when transformations are a huge part of these characters' kits. For example, Orange Piccolo, Potential Unleash Piccolo is actually not a very good character. His tracking is not good. You know, a lot of his tools are not great, but he does have one of the best transformations in the game. 2 skill points to refill key back to max and get his health up into, you know, past 4 bars is insane in my opinion, and that alone makes this character, you know, top tier, at least close to the highest tier. And then you can spend another 2 skill points to get even more health and go into a giant.
Don't worry, just got bigger, that's all.
You know, a lot of these characters with transformations are very underrated, and I feel because people don't use a transformation mechanic in its proper way. Okay,
I'll take care of this.
so when you put it all together, You basically get to put a lot of offensive pressure on the opponent with transformations. You know, you could refill your ki after a super, right? Imagine I transform right there. I get my ki all the way back and I get to continue the offensive pressure. But what I like to do more than anything, imagine we're fighting, I get a stun right behind you. Refill my ki back to max. Pop an after image. Now I got after image behind you. The pressure's on you now. You need to get out of this, and it's very tough because you got to do it twice. And if I get the hard knockdown, I'm in sparking as well. So. There you go. There's a lot of ways to be versatile with transformations. And you were fighting. So a death beam, you don't vanish it, let's say. That means I'm transforming right away. While you're falling down, I'm charging into sparking. Just like that, see? Not to mention androids with transformations, they get ki back. That is just insane. Because you basically never running out of ki. Once you have this character, you get to basically fight for free for the whole match. So cooler here, for example, we do this. Hit confirm a paralyzed ki blast into an unbanishable super here. You can boost it if you want. 10k damage right there. Or you could do stuff like this right here. So you get the stun, this strike, transform.
Let the bloodbath commence.
2-bar death beam, knockdown, charge all the way back up. Basically a free super there. See? There's a lot of stuff you could do with transformations. Being able to just stop the game, do a cutscene, refill your ki is very versatile, which is why a full power charge is one of the best abilities in the game. And a lot of other characters could do the same thing with transformations. It just requires you to learn these characters essentially. Hopefully you got something out of this video. Go ahead and like and sub. Wait for the next one. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.
We're the amalgamations of other beings, but I am the far superior one.